Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 38 of Popcorn Problems. My name is Ilan and I'm here with my very good friend and fellow co-host,
Nicholas DePasco. Every week we'll make sure you're caught up with the biggest news and movies in Hollywood.
This week we're going to be reviewing Obesssion, one of last weekend's biggest new releases. But before we get to that, let's Poppin, where we run through the biggest movie stories of the week. What's up, guys? How we doing today? How you doing, Nick?
Doing pretty alright, Alon. You know, I never say that I'm not doing alright, but when I'm really not doing alright, I guess y'all will know.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm doing okay, Alon. How about you? How are you doing?
Pushing through, surviving another week. Very excited for this episode. Spoiler alert: me and Nick are very high on this film, so I know it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great convo.
It's just gonna be us glazing 20 for 40 minutes, so get ready for that.
Yeah. But before we get into that, we're gonna go over the box office like we always do. This weekend total we have $106 million, which is up 1.17% from this weekend in 2025, but down 41.8% from last weekend. And number one this week was actually Michael. In its fourth week, it pulled the number one spot. Yeah, it's nuts. Pulled in 26.1 million domestic, which is only a 31% drop from last week. Brings the domestic total to 282.8 million. Globally, it just passed $700 million at 703.9. This is guaranteed to hit $1 billion. That's not even, in contention anymore. Yeah, it's very rare for a film to return to number one after, in its fourth weekend, after losing that spot to get it back. A lot of the IMAX and premium large format screens were vacated by Mortal Kombat 2, so that definitely helped a lot. It's already the top grossing musical biopic ever domestically, and Japan hasn't even opened yet, and that's a really big film market. So
whoa,
it's good.
Yeah,
amazing. I think that drops on June 12th, so it's still a bit to go. And just to add to the fire, Billie Jean topped Spotify's global chart last week, 43 years after the original release of the film, of the song. Crazy. I'm not surprised, but it's still crazy.
I saw about that. Also, I guess not movie related, but I saw that Billie Jean topped the charts after Drake's new song, I think it was called Make Them Cry. We experienced the biggest drop in listenership of a day, so being 8 billion or 8 million. Don't take my word on that. It's just a big 8 number. And I just think it's silly. I just think it's funny. Drake tries to move like Michael Jackson, but he does not have enough aura or talent to get away with it. So
yeah, I wonder what artist in 43 years is gonna their songs are gonna top the charts. Pretty cool, interesting to think about, right?
Like who's gonna be the next Michael Jackson? You mean, or just
no, because there'll never be another Michael Jackson, right? But I'm just curious, what songs. I mean, maybe there will be, but I don't know. But I'm just curious what songs that are so big right now are gonna become randomly popular in 50 years. I don't know. Just something interesting to think about.
I see what you're saying. I don't know. Maybe
when they drop the Taylor Swift biopic, right? And then
yeah, I can see that. Oh my god, bro, that's gonna be disastrous. Oh, I can see it now too clearly in my head, dog. You just said the worst thing. I was just gonna say maybe Happy. I feel like Happy by Pharrell Williams would be a song that in the future.
The Drake Kendrick part of the Drake film is gonna go crazy. It's gonna go crazy.
It's actually gonna be the Kendrick film, and then and it's gonna be a little part of the Drake segment. Oh my god, dude, that's insane.
All right, so at number 2 this weekend we have The Devil Wears Prada 2. In its third weekend, it pulled in 18 million domestic, which is a 57% drop, which means that domestically it's at 175.9 million. Global, it's at 546 on a $100 million budget. It's already the top grossing female-led film since Barbie, and it's probably going to hit 600 million by Memorial Day, and it's going to end its run. Hopefully, it might even reach 700 million, which I think is going to be crazy, because I feel like movies like this don't make as much money as they used to, so I think it's really awesome seeing a comedy like that. I don't know if you would call it a comedy, but seeing a film like this make as much money as it is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess to an extent, like I would call this a comedy. I don't really know what else. Maybe like a drama, like a dramedy.
Yeah, dramedy.
Uh, yeah, but yeah, no, it is really cool. Just like something, not it's. I'm sure it wasn't low budget, but something that isn't a big spectacle or whatever. Still being able to. I mean, I guess it comes to the question like what it is. What is it? Is it the name brand? Is it the actors? Is it actually?
I
The
think
film
it's probably a
being
little
good?
bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both, and also, I think people just are going to the movies this year. People
Yeah, right.
want to go to the movies, right? And so, I mean that's so awesome because I feel like there's been such a negative connotation around like people's movie going habits, and there definitely has been. But I feel like there's a big cultural shift this year, and I think it's really cool. And I'm very curious to see how these bigger movies later on in the summer are going to do. Because if a movie like this is making this much money, you can only imagine what a Toy Story 5 or a Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to pull in, right? So,
Oh, absolutely. I also think it's very interesting to see that the majority of moviegoers, and I'm not just saying this is like a study, and I wish I could be more specific about that, but the majority of recent moviegoers are Gen Z slash like younger millennials.
yeah,
So this shift, I hope, it maintains throughout the years going forward. Obviously, we don't know what happens or what's going on like next year or the years after that, but I really like that more than anything. It's younger audiences like coming to the theaters and like making that a habit of like, oh, let's see what the next big thing is on the big screen.
hell
It
yeah, it's
really
great.
it fills me with hope. It fills me with hope.
Yeah, it really does. It's a great time to be a movie fan. At number 3, we have Obsession, the film that we're going to be reviewing this week. It pulled in 16.1 million domestic, 23.1 million global on a $750,000 budget. Curry Barker's feature debut, acquired by Focus/Blumhouse for a reported $15 million, opened at 16 times its production budget on just 2,000 screens. With an A- cinema score and a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, I believe it's currently the highest rated horror movie of the year.
Dude, I mean, deserved, 100%.
Deserved, and I could see this growing because the word of mouth on this has been phenomenal. I know personally I'm itching to rewatch this film. I really wanted to see it a second time before this recording. I wasn't able to make it work, unfortunately, but I know I'm going to see this another time, maybe even another after that. I don't know. It is just that good of a movie. Horror's doing so good this year, and
Yeah, for real.
this really is the year of horror. I feel like. I mean, horror's been. I feel like horror's been making a lot of money the past few years, but I feel like this year there's just been an explosion in really great horror films, and there's more to come later on. I know we have that Evil Dead film coming out by Zach Kreger, which I'm really, really excited for, and obviously other stuff that I can't remember off the top of my head, but great time to be a horror fan right now.
Yeah, no. Also, like, Scary Movie. Not even just, like, a horror fan, but also just being in that horror environment to begin with. You know, like you
Yeah,
said,
I
like
think
Scary Movie.
I think Scary Movie 6 is going to be a really big hit, just because of how big horror has been.
I think it really depends on, and I'm sure, like, yeah, I think it really depends on how good the actual movie is. You know what I mean? Like, because I could see it
I'm
being
so
a
excited
big
to
hit.
see it.
I'm excited too. I want something different. I want something that I wouldn't regularly see at the theater I don't know. I just hope it's good. I just hope it's actually funny. I don't even care if it's good. I just want it to be funny. That's the only thing that I care about.
Have you been seeing the parody posters that are coming out?
Yeah,
They're
they're good.
so great. They're it's a really great promotional run.
Yeah.
The better one was the Backrooms one. I thought that one's really great.
Yeah, I every single time I'm like, oh my god, like they're still keeping up with it. Like they're still. I didn't expect to see a Backrooms scary movie poster.
Yeah, they did a Michael Jackson bit like when that movie was dropped. When
I
that
saw
movie
that
just
one,
dropped. I think it's just really impressive how up to date it is, and I think that's why it's going to be so successful because I feel like it's very tuned in to what audiences are enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Number 4 this weekend, I quickly want to mention Mortal Kombat 2. It dropped 65%. Only pulled in 13.4 million. It's at a global of 101.2, so it's over its budget of 80 million. But pretty much all the fans showed up in its opening weekend, and I really think this is just going to dwindle lower and lower over the coming weeks as more stuff is going to make its way into the theaters. Other than that, not too much on the top 10. Super Mario Galaxy is still making money and only dropped 33%. It's only pulling in like 4.45 million domestic, but it's doing so consistently. Crazy, its global is at 945.7 million. So it's inching to that $1 billion mark. It's going to hit the $1 billion mark. I've seen people online debating whether Michael or Galaxy is going to hit a billion first, because Mario is much closer, but it's slowed down significantly compared to Michael, which is 200 million behind, but it's still consistently making good money. So I personally feel that Michael's going to make a stupid amount of money this coming weekend during Memorial Day.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
That's going to be, because that's always a big movie-going weekend, and I feel like last year we had Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible, so there was a good variety. And there was some other stuff also, but this year we just have Mando and then a couple other smaller films, which I find interesting, but I feel like general audiences wouldn't, and I don't know how how keen people are going to be on seeing Mando and Grogu. We'll see how that turns out box office wise next weekend, but I can just see Michael making buckets of money this weekend. So yeah, we'll see which one crosses billion first. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I honestly agree. Also, because I know Galaxy's coming out in on digital soon. I think in a week or two.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So I know super confident about it getting to that billion. If it does, it would be this weekend. If it's not in this weekend, then it's not happening. You know what I mean? Okay,
that's a fair way to look at it. Yeah, I mean, it only needs about 50-something million left. My only thing is that, Mando and Grogu is definitely being marketed as a family film.
Yeah.
So, I wonder... I don't know. It's really going to be interesting to see. But I'm surprised this movie hasn't hit a billion yet. And I think, hopefully... Right? Yeah, hopefully Illumination and, Nintendo take that as a lesson for whatever they have cooking up next in the Mario cinematic universe.
Maybe they have plans.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure they're not going to learn anything, but yeah. Let's see. Only other interesting thing on the top 10 is the Top Gun 40th anniversary re-release. It pulled in 3.1 million domestic. It was in 8th place this weekend.
Are you going to
overall?
Sorry.
No, I don't think I will. I'm just busy. I don't think I will. If I would have, it would have been this weekend, and I didn't. And I think it's already gone from theaters, or it will be very soon.
You might be right about that. I thought I saw it today and still in theaters, but I might be wrong about that. But yeah, no, continue.
Yeah. Overall, year to date, the domestic box office is up 16% over 2025. And that's only going to keep growing because, as we said, people are going to the movies a lot this year. All right, so not too much news this week unless Nick has something to interject. But I just want to quickly mention two things. It was confirmed that Grown Ups 3 is officially in the works at Netflix, with Adam Sandler and Tim Herlihy returning to write it. I love the Grown Ups franchise. Excuse me. I really love Grown Ups 1. Grown Ups 2 is downright unwatchable. And now Grown Ups 3 is directed by the guy who did Happy Gilmore 2. So I don't have the highest expectation or the highest hopes. But I guess we'll just have to see how those turn out. Now that I think about it, I definitely mentioned Grown Ups 3 last week, didn't I?
Yeah, I didn't want to stop you. I don't know why I didn't want to stop you. I was kind of waiting for you to just find his face.
Because I realized we had this exact conversation. For context, guys, we filmed super late in the week last week, so that's why I have this down. My bad, guys. Okay. Second piece of news. The auditions have officially begun for the next James Bond, with Nina Gold, who was the casting director behind Game of Thrones and Star Wars The Force Awakens, in charge of finding us our next James Bond. She has gone on she's been quoted to say that the next one must be oozing sex appeal. So that is one of the main criteria for this James Bond. So hopefully he can act and not just look pretty on screen. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think the direction with Daniel Craig, because I know when Daniel Craig was first announced, it was very controversial because he wasn't that like. Well, people back then didn't consider him that much of a pretty face for some reason. I think I would like for them to continue that on that sort of like still grounded, but like, generally handsome or pretty if they go with a girl. Who knows? Yeah, I would like that them to.
They are setting they are setting that film up for the biggest failure ever. If they are gonna cast, they're gonna ruin that poor actress's career. She's gonna get the most hated on you've ever seen, like in history. They would be stupid. They would be stupid to do that.
Is it crazy to say that like I could see a world where it works? I don't think they would know how to do it right. Not that I'm saying that I do. Moreover, I think if things just line up perfectly, if we have just like the perfect domino effect of mistake plus intention plus whatever, there's a world where a female-led James Bond movie could work.
I'm not saying it would be bad. I'm just saying the reception, it would just be too negative.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, who am I to say? Who knows? Maybe it would slide. So yeah, do you have any news you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, so I actually have some TV news. Adventure Time is officially coming back. To what extent, not necessarily, but it has been announced that there's a new show coming out on Disney Plus and Hulu called Adventure Time Side Quests.
Side Quests.
Yep, which the series is a prequel that follows Finn's early childhood on monster fighting adventures with Jake. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, they keep trying to run to milk that Adventure Time cow. It's crying. It's not even moving anymore. It's just laying on the floor. It's completely dehydrated. There's nothing else you can do with it. No, there is more things you can do with Adventure Time, sure, but I don't think people really want to. I don't want more Adventure Time. I don't want more regular show. They released the regular show Lost Tapes.
Yeah, I saw the first few episodes. Yeah, I saw the first few episodes. They're great.
I saw the first episode and I laughed. I thought it was good, but I was like, do I really want more?
Luau.
But I was like, do I really want more of this? Like, it is just like regular. It's just regular show with like a little bit shittier animation. And I'm just like, is it really worth it? Can we like invest in something? And can we invest in something interesting? And I feel like I always say that whenever we bring up a reboot anyway, but yeah, I don't know.
Silly.
It's just a lot, and I just wish we could dedicate time to something that isn't Adventure Time. But it is what it is. Whatever. I'll probably still watch it because I am a fellow slop connoisseur, as many of you are.
Luau.
That's pretty much it for me.
Cool.
That's all the news.
Alrighty, so let's move into what we watched. I want to start this week. After falling very obsessed with Curry Barker and his creative endeavors of the past, I was brought, thanks to the Dead Meat channel, I was brought to this film called Milk and Cereal. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
So this is the Curry Barker's a director of Obesssion, and this is a found footage horror film that he uploaded direct to YouTube. For context, he started off as like a comedy skit YouTuber, and that's where he got his filmmaking knowledge from. Him and then the guy who plays Ian in Obesssion, like the best friend. They are like best friends in real life, and then they have like their filmmaking production studio, whatever. And this is one that they did. They dropped it on YouTube. And yeah, I thought it was super, super effective. If anything, just to show that you really could just make a movie. Like, there really is nothing stopping you. This movie was made for a budget of $800, filmed over the course of weekends over the course of 4 months. And it's so simple, yet it's so incredibly effective. It's entertaining, it's unnerving. It honestly has some really fun performances. Curry Barker himself actually is like the main actor in this one. Pretty much it revolves around these two friends, Milk and Seven. Those are the two names played by the two like guys I just mentioned. And essentially they're like a prankster YouTube channel, and they like are super intense. And on one of their birthdays, they like do a super crazy prank. But it turns out that one of the other guys is doing another prank, and then he's like sadistic. And I don't want to get into it too much because it's only an hour. It's a very easy watch, super entertaining, super funny. And if you really liked the vibe of Obsession and you want more from the mind of Curry Barker while we're waiting for his next horror film, which is already filmed, by the way, so that should be coming out very soon. Great place to watch this is on YouTube. It's called Milk and Cereal. Cereal spelled like serial killer. Yeah, I had a great time with it.
I already have the tab for the film on my computer, so I'm definitely going to give that a watch. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I had a really fun time.
Hell yeah. I honestly have just had another busy week, so I don't think I had any time to watch anything new. Let me make sure I'm not lying about that. Sorry. Yeah, I have not had any time to watch anything new, so that's that for me.
Okay, cool. So in that case, I'll quickly just mention one more thing. I actually just watched this earlier today. I rewatched Muppets from Space. I had found it on VHS, and I bought it, obviously, and I watched it, and it's still just as great as I remember from when I was young. One thing that completely took me for a surprise is my boy Dewey, David Arquette, is in this movie, which is insane. That was like such a cool surprise for me. And he plays such a funny character. Have you seen Muppets from Space?
I have seen Muppets from Space, but I can't remember Dewey's character.
Okay, he's like the crazy scientist that's like experimenting on Rizzo.
I'll take your word for it. I don't remember, honestly.
Well,
I saw the movie a long time when I was a kid.
Yeah, great. Well, definitely rewatch it. It's super fun. But it's such a great. I feel like this is like such in the I guess not the prime, but it just feels like prime Muppets, right? Where everyone's just there. All the Muppets are together. Doing their Muppet shtick. Gonzo has some really fun moments. This is Gonzo's movie. It's essentially his origin story, kinda. And that's, so much great character stuff with him. Him and Rizzo have a really fun character dynamic. And here, Rizzo's like my favorite Muppet. So awesome.
Like of all time?
To see it. No, he might be. He might be. He's up there for sure.
That's goated. Honestly, niche facts.
I love Rizzo. Yeah, I fucking love Rizzo. And he's like Gonzo's roommate in this movie, so they have a lot of great stuff. It's just super fun. It's a fun Muppet movie. It's not a musical, and I know people like give it shit for being one of the only non-musical Muppet movies, but I don't know if this one would have worked as a musical. I think it definitely fits as more of like a sci-fi Muppet film, with a lot of cool references to like aliens. I caught some like shot references, Close Encounters, just really fun stuff. Great puppetry as always. Listen, they're the Muppets. Like, it's a great time.
Yeah, no. I mean, I from what I remember as a kid, Muppets from Space was also one of my favorites, just because it was so out there from all the other Muppet movies I felt, but also like kind of grounded. And I know I've said this before. I'm pretty sure I've said this on the podcast, but I do like Muppet movies where the Muppet characters are just themselves. They're not like playing other characters. So,
yeah. And this is a perfect example of that. It's like the most Muppet like themselves you can get, I feel like, because we're just really diving in on like the strangest, like one of, the weird one, right? He's like the thing, so it's just fun. And while it's not a musical, there are like song sequences which are great. Just overall, just super fun stuff. Great visuals too. So I really enjoyed it.
Hell yeah, give it a watch.
Alrighty. So since you have nothing else to add, let's move into our review of Obsession. I'm going to start with a summary off the internet, then we'll start spoiler free and move into spoilers. Here we go. After breaking the mysterious one-wish willow to win his crush's heart, a hopeless romantic gets exactly what he asked for. However, he soon discovers that some desires come at a dark and sinister price. Nicholas, what did you think of Obsession?
Oh boy. What a picture. Genuinely, what a picture.
Cinema. It's that one Martin Scorsese meme.
Cinema. Yeah, no, genuinely, I'm just astounded that, like, something so technically small, like, it can give you such an impact. And it really comes down to the like, I guess, the writing and the editing of it too, and just the visual style. But, let's forget all the technical bullshit right now. What a genuinely, like, horrifying, like, cringe-worthy movie. And great performances from everyone. I love how there's almost, like, a little sense of I guess, like, awkwardness to everyone's performance, but in a good way. Where they're all just, like, young adults, just, like, being like, what the fuck is the situation? I don't know. I kind of don't know how to organize my thoughts about it right now, so I kind of want to hear what you thought about it. But I really
Yeah. So I came out of this movie, and I saw this movie on Saturday. I haven't stopped thinking about this movie since. I think it was fucking phenomenal. Probably in my top 5 of the decade. Easily my favorite movie of the year so far. And I would not be surprised if it stays like that by the end of the year. This movie was absolutely incredible. I would say from the very second that the movie started till the very end, I loved every second of it. To get more into details, I think the script is just fantastic, just incredibly well written, compelling, scary. The characters are so like interesting, and like I really enjoyed following them, because sometimes I'm watching a movie and I'm like, this is really the main character we're going with, like this is who I have to follow for the next however long. Not here. Every single one, from Bear and Nikki, obviously our 2 leads, to Ian the friend and Sarah, they all were interesting, and I cared for them for in their own ways. The cinematography is to die for. I mean, some of the shots in here with the lighting are just so beautiful and well constructed. I love the use of, like, the long takes of, like, not cutting the shots and just letting us sit in the uncomfortableness with the characters. I thought that was so incredibly effective. The score, like, got under my skin. I've been listening to it since I left the theater. Just so amazing. That's not even mentioning just the incredible performance given by the actress who plays Nikki. Inde something. I don't know her last name. I'm sorry. She is
I'll look it up.
Phenomenal. Obviously, she starts normal, and then from the second this character switch happens, it's so noticeable, and you can feel it so incredibly hard. Some of the she gets asked to do some truly disturbing and cringe-inducing and difficult to watch stuff in this movie, and the actress goes there, and she goes there in spades, and it's enough. Her performance alone is enough, the price of admission. I adored everything about this movie. It was so great.
Yeah, the actress is Inde Navarrete, I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly, her performance was eternally captivating. I think it's incredible, the fact that, like, this is kind of a spoiler, but with, there's, like, 2 sides of her performance, and I thought, there's a very easy way to make her switching between those 2 sides, like, cringe or whatnot, but I think the way, both in the writing and in the way that she plays it, is spectacular, like, terrifying every single time. And I also want to mention the visual style of the film, how, like, like I said, like, simple it is. It's very much just, like, a character in the middle of the frame, and then you just have the blurry field of view, a small field.
It was
of view,
amazing.
But, like, it maintains it, and it sticks with you throughout, like, not just like before the film. Like, I remember seeing that throughout the trailers of it, and I'm like, yeah, this is like this is how that movie works, and this is how that movie looks, and whenever I think about this movie, I have that, like, that same, not just like the field of view, but just like also the color grading of it too. I don't know. This movie is like incredibly polished for something made with. I mean, he's not inexperienced, but it's incredibly polished for something that's like so technically small. You know what I mean? It's so small scale. Every single shot, realistically speaking, like, or no, not realistically, theoretically speaking, you and I could get with like an actor or just like in a certain scene, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just, like, that's what talent. It's talent behind the camera. It's talent in front of the camera. Yeah. It's talent that wrote the script. It's just everything came together to make a truly like awe-inspiring film.
Mm-hmm. Do you wanna jump in spoilers?
Sure. Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot that we can talk about here. Sure. There's so many sequences that stick out to me in the film. The first one is obviously the initial, making the wish and then her coming back. That shot of her like standing outside where like it's just a black silhouette, just so incredibly iconic. I think this movie is gonna go down as like one of the biggest horror movies of this year, so it's gonna be remembered, and I think we're gonna see that shot a lot. Okay, I just want to say the concept is so incredibly simple, but it's done so incredibly effectively, right? It really is just like a monkey paw story, but done like in such a modern way. I just think it's so refreshing almost, and in the state of like having so much like boring repetitive stuff. It's just so interesting and refreshing.
I also love the fact that they did not explain anything. They did not explain anything at all, and that's way better, because if you go into an explanation of like who is the guy on the phone that like picked up the whatever, then like you just get bogged down in details and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
No, keep it simple, keep it straight. Nobody really knows. It works
because our protagonist doesn't know, and we're following our protagonist. We'll get into that of whether you consider him like who's the villain of the story, right? But
yeah.
The character that we're following, Bear. We know as much as he does. That whole scene, by the way, in the car on the phone. That's Curry Barker's voice, like the director on the phone.
Really?
That's just a fun
okay, makes sense.
That was just really fun. And then when he says like, "Do you want to hear the real Nikki?" and then you could hear her screaming. That was just so hard to listen to. Oh my god, he's just such a bad person. Oh my god, dude.
You think he's a bad person? I mean, he is a bad person, but like, you think he's a bad person?
Yes, he is definitely a bad person. Okay, first of all, I think it could not have been more obvious that she was into him. She straight up asked him, "Do you have feelings for me?" That's your open shot, dude. I really think if he had said yes, I think that would have gone well for him. Like, he didn't have to do the whole wish thing, and I think that is like a super... I mean, I've seen people debate that, and I think her performance is so nuanced, because you can read it as she is actually into him, or you can read it as she's not, and she's kind of like disgusted by the idea.
I read it as that, honestly. I read it as the opposite of what you think. So I think that's very interesting. Like, I mean, it goes to show how great she is.
Because she was like, "When I like someone, you'll never know." Mm-hmm. Right, so I think that like that line, I don't know. I think that was definitely done on purpose, like to have that idea. And I don't know. I think it was just so great.
Also, just a great way to put yourself in the head of our main character, Bear. Of like, oh shit, like, dude, does she really, like, literally in just that one moment, like, we can empathize with him so much, because we don't know as well if she actually really likes him. So we understand what his position, I guess. And at that point,
you learn a lot about him as a person. I feel like in that moment, you learn how he's kind of a pussy, essentially, right? He's, and then you see that throughout the movie. He's too pussy to deal with a situation. He finds out that she's lying about the cancer, the dad having cancer. Doesn't really push much on it, right? That, for any normal person, should be, I would say, a breaking point. Like, that's kind of like, Oh no, that's like
Mm-hmm.
kind of crazy. I guess that that's before he really realized anything crazy was going on. Um, but he was just too pussy to push about it. Um, he calls when he calls. He doesn't ask to like save Nikki or to fix Nikki. He says, "Can I alter the wish?" Um, and I think that also says a lot about who he is. He didn't care for Nikki's safety or trying to save her. He liked that she was obsessed with him. He just didn't like that she got all crazy about it. He never had a
Mm-hmm.
problem with her being obsessed with him. He had a problem with her like going like feral and like acting like an animal. Um, he never cared for her well-being when it was clear that she was trapped. I mean, he heard her screams and just hangs up the phone. Um, I read that one scene where they're having sex and she's crying. Um, Apparently that was like actually Nikki. Like the demon like turned off in that moment. Like that's how it was. She acted it, and that like Nikki just couldn't do anything about it. So that just adds, I feel like, a lot more weight to that moment.
We're talking about the scene
Um,
immediately after like the dad cancer confrontation.
yes,
Okay. Wow. Yeah. No. I caught that. I mean, I've kind of figured that. I think it's also interesting to go through the film and like be like, is this Nikki? Is this Wish Willow? Is this what's really going on? Like I said, like I really love how they switch up on that. And I also it's a
yes,
great display of the rules essentially, or like it's a great explanation with it not being an explanation at all. With it, you just seeing the actions of how this thing goes, and you're like you're cluing in yourself like, okay, so this is how it works. This is kind of like what's going on. One other thing I wanted to mention about what you said was that yeah, he is a pussy. And one of my biggest complaints about like recent films, just like modern films, have been non proactive main characters where I really hate, or I don't hate it, but I just kind of find it annoying when there's a character that just like is kind of wandering in a world around them and they're not really like making decisions. Bear is like that. He is very much a non-proactive main character, but I think the way that the film makes him make decisions, whether it be maintaining the same decision that of the Wish Willow or actually doing something about it by having the world around him like directly interact with him and be like, hey, I want to put you in this uncomfortable situation, what are you going to do about it? I just think that's such an incredible workaround to both have a pussy as a main character, have a non-reactive, like more passive main character, and also have him like go through, and also have him signal the decisions that are being made as well, and
mm-hmm.
like how it, what you said, how it clues into, or how we learn about Bear, about who he is, about what he really stands for, about who he really is as a person. I was very impressed by. Honestly, the script is incredible. Genuinely, where the fuck did this Curry Barker guy come from? Also, I want to ask you: did you know about him before
No,
this
I
movie?
didn't. I didn't, and I'm happy I didn't because there's so much. I've been finding. I even sent you like a reel I found of him from a couple of years ago. So much sketch comedy. I love this the comedy to horror pipeline.
Yeah.
Fantastic, awesome, awesome. Okay, so there's just so much I have to discover by this guy, and
Hmm.
he has such a bright future ahead of him in the industry. I can already tell. Um, Another thing I wanted to mention is some of the physical stuff. Like when Nikki is kind of like moving super
I was literally about
strange.
to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Continue.
almost like a ventriloquist.
Hmm.
That was all just like acting. Like that was all just her doing it, and I thought it was so cool. And like I said, like the lighting, like the way it's shot. Her in the corner of that one scene of her like crying,
Hmm.
just so incredible.
I
Like I'm
think
thinking
it's
about it, and it's so good.
I think it's acting, and I think it's also like they sped up the footage a little bit to like give it that
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
eerier.
yeah. Whatever they did, it was fantastic.
But I think,
But
like I said,
I mean, like it just wasn't CGI. That's what I
yeah,
mean.
I know what you mean. Okay, I think, like I said, like I keep saying this, like how simple this movie is, but how effective it is. Just like a little thing like that, just speeding up the footage in a small fraction, but noticeably uncomfortable amount. Just like elevates this to a level of like inspirational. It's inspirational to me, genuinely. Like seeing all these things go on, I'm like, holy fuck! Like I you know, we could really make this. I could really make this. You know what I mean? It's like it's nothing at all. It's insane. I don't know. I was very impressed, inspired.
Yeah.
And I just want to see Curry Barker do more stuff with, you know, if this is him with just $1 million or 750 or whatever it is. Oh, I think it was $1 million from what I read. If this is him with $1 million, 750K. I can't imagine what else he has in store, especially with that next film with Aaron Paul and like ghost hunting and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So excited. What did you think of the party scene? I thought that was such an incredible scene. Like the tension in that room, and the performance that Nikki gives, like giving that Hansel and Gretel monologue, which I guess does add to your point, right? It's like an incestuous like brother and sisters monologue that she's given, and then like we're told by Ian that like Nikki looks at him like a brother. So that's, you know, a thing in your court. Like there's just the deep goes, it's so well written on so many levels, and this is why I need the rewatch, because I'm sure there's so much I'm sure I'm missing. So incredible.
Yeah, no, I mean that party scene, terrifying as someone who is you know, more, I guess, in a social setting reserved. I felt like I felt for Bear in those moments where, like, when they were in public settings, like for example the restaurant scene as well, when he confronts her about the cancer.
Oh my god, that scene is so good. She's just such a good actress, man.
It's also, I think, like the first time we see her like really, I mean, I think we see her act out like kind of a little bit before that, but like in a public setting to that like level, I think that's the first time we see her act out. Like, and it really shocks you to your core. It's like, oh my god, like please stop talking, please shut up, please shut up, please shut up. Like I get it. Like I am a little ashamed to admit how much I can understand Bear as a character, but I also think that's, like I said, another talent of the writing of where, like, I feel like it's a little bit universal. You know, the cringe moments and maybe like the moments of his poor decision making, or moreover lack thereof.
Yeah, you definitely feel for him. Feel for him.
He literally got everything he wanted, and you know, now he can't have it unless he kills himself.
Yeah, to be fair, he didn't know that it would work. He didn't know that it would work. Right. It's the way he handled it after he found out what was going on. Oh my god, I'm just now remembering that one scene when he's about to sneak out to go meet Sarah right before that insane kill with the brick and the wheel.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a second.
God, dude.
But where essentially it's like the real Nikki, and she's like, oh, she's sleeping, like please kill me, like not even like help me, not even like try to save me, like she just wants out. And he just walks away. I could never imagine that, like someone that you love apparently so much, like, you know, clearly in pain and terror, and you're just leaving, and this is because of you, right? Just so awful, so hard to watch. And obviously we knew Sarah was not going to make it till the end of that scene. We knew that Nikki was going to come, but I just feel like the way it was done, so brutal. The way, like the shot of like the mangled face afterwards, I thought was so disgusting and done well. Did you notice, by the way, that she dressed like Sarah? Like after?
I was gonna ask you, like, how did you feel about the following scene where
so great,
dude? As soon as I saw her wear like the black lipstick and her dress and like draw with like poorly Sharpie whatever,
the tattoo. Oh my
I thought, like,
God.
that just made me crawl like inside out of my own like skin, bro. Like I was just like, oh, this is so disgusting on so many levels, and I love it. I do want to ask you, how do you feel about the ending? How do you feel about the ending?
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great ending. It's so tragic that essentially that's the worst part about all this, right? Nikki is an innocent bystander, all this, and now she has to deal with the fallout of Bear's just horrific decision making. Ian's dead. Think about the situation she's left in. Ian's dead. Sarah's dead.
She's literally a murderer. I mean, technically speaking.
Yeah, he's dead. And now she's just left there to deal with the consequences of all of it. Right after being stuck in whatever hell purgatory, she was obviously dealing with. It's just so tragic and it's so effective. I know that Curry Barker has mentioned the idea floating around of like a One Wish Willow, almost like anthology series, which would be so cool. He was talking about like how he would like direct the pilot and then have like other filmmakers take a stab at it. I think one episode definitely has to be like what happens when you're the one affected by the demon, and then also we need an episode on like the whole like customer service thing. I think that could be really fun.
Yeah, for sure. I think, an anthology series would be wild. I guess I'm just like, I guess I'm a little afraid of like just like the premise being, stretched really thin, if it does become like an actual thing. But honestly, I don't know if I'm not gonna say I trust Curry Barker yet, since this is the only thing I've seen of him, but I think there's a way, just based off this, I know he would have more dignity towards approaching something like that. Just real quickly going back to the ending, I loved how they really went there. How, throughout the whole, when he's like regretting his wish and everything like that, and then they go through, and then he calls the people, and then you're like, oh, you can kill himself. You can kill yourself. And then when he goes to the customer, to the actual store, and then they also say like, or you can just kill yourself. I love how kind of like that line is played for a joke in both times. At least I didn't get it as a joke. Like they were literally telling him to kill himself, but also like there is that like comedy of it of like, yeah, just kill yourself. Especially with the second guy who says it in the store.
Yeah. In this, yes, great. It's like, duh, like everyone knows that. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like it's.
But yeah. I just love how like they were like that's really the ending they went with. Like, I feel like another like if this was directed by somebody else or written by somebody else, they would have like found a way around it where like, I don't know, this, that, and the other. But just actually going through the actual act of having your main character die was incredible. I'm a big fan of a film that kills off their main character. I think that's one of the boldest moves you can do, and if you can do it right, not just for like shock value, but actually making it interesting and actually making it like a purpose, a reason, it could really, for me, it elevates your film to like another level.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just like it.
There was they shot an ending where Nikki ended up like killing her, like shooting herself at the end of the film, but they didn't keep that because they wanted her to be like a final girl, and I think that's really cool. Just like another detail, like some little nice thing more to add to the film, which I think is just phenomenal. Yeah, I'm so excited to see this again and many more times after that, because like I said, this is going to be a movie that I'm probably going to talk about a lot, and it's one that is definitely going to be in the contention for one of the best films of the decade, I think.
I could see this going down as a horror classic, honestly. I really could. Like, I feel like people throw that phrase around a lot to, like, new horror movies. I know people were saying about Undertone. Absolutely not. And just, like, other films that have come out, not just this year, but, like, years previous.
Every 2 weeks, it's like the new scariest movie of all time.
That's what I'm saying. And I saw the marketing for this film, and I was like, I don't buy it anymore. Like, Undertone, honestly, I was incredibly disappointed by Undertone. So I was like, when I heard that people were saying, oh, this is actually like, no, this is actually a big deal. I'm like, I'll have to see it to believe it. Nope, it actually was. It was a real deal. It was the real deal. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, do you have anything else to mention about the movie? I feel like I could talk more, but I'm blanking right now.
Let me think. I feel like there is something else I wanted to say.
Also, the performance of the friend was also really good. Just like as that polar opposite of him.
Which one, Ian?
Yeah, Ian.
He's really fun. He's really fun in that Milk and Cereal movie I told you about. He's great in that.
Interesting. Cool. I'll definitely give it a watch. I also just love like his how he ends. I genuinely love the ending. How all of these characters ended up, and I don't know what that. I don't know what that says about like
the billions of dollars. That was so good.
Yeah,
I got billions of bucks.
Oh my god, dude! No, it was just. There's so many ways that you could read this film as like just in general, like reading into it of like the emotionality of it and kind of like how I feel like you could write like college papers on each character and the psyche of every one of them more than anything, especially Bear.
Yeah.
I also
God. Dude,
I really sorry. Say what were you gonna say?
I'm reading here that the movie was filmed in 20 days.
Dude, holy cow! How, bro?
That's insane.
How?
It's actually insane.
Shit, man. No, and like, yeah. Going back to what I was saying, like, especially Bear. I feel like there are a lot of people. I think this is a very timely movie as well, where like kind of that that nice boy is kind of like a genre of person right now. If I had to put it in any other way, of like, oh, just like a quiet, like I guess like the soft boy or whatever. I really
have
love
you
how
seen Companion?
I have, and I also really liked
people,
Companion.
Yeah, me too. I saw people comparing this to like him to Jack Quaid's character from Companion. I think these movies kind of have some similarities, which is interesting. They're both great films, so yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I just think, yeah, like I said, like I love that this this type of person is being explored as not just like, you know, not just like, oh, the nice boy, but like kind of like seeing the downsides of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting character type to me.
Yeah.
And
if what's it called? If Scary Movie 6 is successful, I can almost guarantee you they're gonna parody this and scary in the sequel.
Oh, absolutely! Right? It's so easy too.
It's so easy. There's so much you can do with this.
Mm-hmm.
So great. I'm really happy you enjoyed it, Nick, because I know sometimes we have differing opinions on movies, but I'm really glad because I know I was hyping this up to you guys. I need to tell everyone. I called him. I was texting him about this shit. I was really on an obsession high, and I was worried I overhyped it to him. I'm glad I didn't. So.
I was gonna say, bro. I was like, I was like, there's no way that it's like this good. Like, you know what I mean? But it really was. Yeah, I don't know. I just incredible filmmaking shows throughout. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of anything, it's just incredible filmmaking through and through.
Yeah, you could tell the director had trust in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't think that we're stupid. I feel like a lot of movies think that the audience is stupid. And it just shows that when you trust your audience, you can really create something special. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, Obesssion was fantastic. With that being said, that's it for episode 38 of Popcorn Problems.
So wait, Ilan, would you recommend Obesssion?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would,
Absolutely.
Honestly. I'm kind of like in the middle of it. Like, you know, it's kind of like all right. You know, it's all right. But no, of course, yeah. please go watch Obesssion. Please support. Give
watch it. Yeah.
$23 billion straight to Curry Barker's pocket, please, so he can make whatever else he wants. Give him that blank check movie. God damn it, he deserves it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited to see his next film. We'll be back next week reviewing the first Star Wars film in 7 years. Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu. In the meantime, you can hit us up on socials at Popcorn Problems Pod and let us know what you thought of Obesssion. Don't forget to follow, rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're using, and DM us your hottest takes and suggestions. We will see you next time. Peace.
Have a good one.